What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the second episode of the Forever Self-Employed podcast. My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. And in this episode of the podcast, we are going to be talking with William from the Financial Wolf YouTube channel. Now, William is only 16 years old and averages $2,500 a month, flipping phones and through a few other side hustles that we're going to talk with him about today. Now, William has also been on the Dave Ramsey Show.
With us in Madison, Wisconsin. Hi, William. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi. So I'm sure you get this question a lot, but it's different for everyone. How should I be investing my iPhone reselling business's profits at 16 years old?
You're 16?
Yes.
He's also tried drop shipping. We're going to be talking about all that today. Now, links as always for his channel will be down in the description, so be sure to check him out after this. And also, I will leave timestamps in the comment section so that you can skip around to specific questions or you can watch the podcast in its entirety. Either way, I greatly appreciate you for watching. My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed, and without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into this one. Alrighty, everybody. So I'm joined here with William from the Financial Wolf channel. William.
Thanks for having me, man. Means a lot.
Absolutely, man. So you have how many sources of revenue coming in each month?
Yeah, so I have 4 sources of income coming in every single month, and if you want, I can go ahead and break those down for you.
Yeah, I guess. Start us off with the biggest one first.
Yes, so my biggest revenue stream is iPhone reselling, and that is probably about 90% of what I make every single month. I'm working on building up the other 3, but iPhone reselling is currently almost all of my income every single month, and that's basically where I'm buying phones at a low price and I'm reselling them at a higher price.
How are you advertising for iPhone reselling? Do you post ads on Facebook or, what's the deal?
Yeah, so basically I advertise all over the place that I buy phones for cash, and I'm advertising on Craigslist in the wanted by owner section. Basically, I'm saying I buy iPhones, I pay cash for phones, and then people call me and they come to me with what their phone is. I ask what gigabyte it is and what carrier it's with, and then I look up how much it's selling for on eBay, and then I offer them less than what it's selling for so I can make a profit. And I'm also doing ads on Facebook and Facebook Marketplace.
Okay, and you can sell phones in any condition. Do you only buy phones that have regular screens? What's the deal with that?
Yeah, so I buy phones that are cracked. I buy phones in pristine condition. The only phones that I really do not like to buy are phones that do not turn on. It's just a personal preference, simply because I'm not super advanced with fixing phones. So I don't like to buy phones that don't turn on because they're often iCloud locked, and I don't like to deal with that kind of stuff. But I do buy iCloud locked phones that are in good condition because I can actually appraise them.
So do you have any testing? Let's say I wanted to sell you my phone. Do you have a way that you could test my phone out to make sure that it was, quality product or?
Yeah, so what I do is I just test all of the buttons, make sure those are working. I test the volume, I make sure that works, and I test the screen, make sure there's no dead spots or anything like that. And then the most important thing that I check is the IMEI, and this is a code that will tell me if it's financed, blacklisted, or reported stolen, right? So I don't want to buy phones at full price if they're blacklisted, because that means they cannot be used on the carrier they're with. And usually phones are blacklisted if they're lost or if they have not been paid.
Holy shit. How many have you found that have been, or stolen, right? Would they be blacklisted if they were stolen?
Yep. Or someone lost it and then found it again. So I do occasionally buy blacklisted phones, but usually if phones are blacklisted and then sold, they're iCloud locked as well, because the person probably doesn't know the password for the iCloud. But if the iCloud is unlocked and the phone's blacklisted, that usually means that the person just lost the phone and then found it and then just wants to sell it.
Do you come across that a lot though? That if phones are stolen?
Yeah, probably one phone a month, which, I'd say, 3% of phones that I buy are blacklisted, I'd say.
Okay.
I'm buying 30 phones a month. I probably, I'm doing one a day on average, but there's days that I pick up, 2 or 3 phones, and then there's, a few days a month that I just don't have any luck and I'm not able to pick up anything.
Wow, man. Okay, that's super cool. And you're checking them. You have to call in that number, or do you have an app that you can check that number on? You said the IMB.
IMEI. So I'm
IMEI.
able to check that on a website like SickW, and
Hmm.
then I'm also checking that on IMEI Pro, and those are literally just things that you look up on Google and you know, search the IMEI for.
Have you gotten yourself in
But that's
any sketchy situations, like trying to sell phones or buy phones? Because people know
oh
that you
yeah.
probably
So
have cash on you, right? So,
yeah. So I always meet inside public places. Like I always meet at like a McDonald's usually because they have free Wi-Fi, so I can connect the phone to Wi-Fi, make sure that all works.
okay.
And it's also safe because it's inside somewhere. And I always get to meet up before the first time actually meeting so that I can be inside and they're not waiting for me outside so that they can jump me.
Okay, smart move. Now, what kind of advice would you give to somebody who wanted to get into this iPhone flipping business that was probably around your age?
Hmm. Yeah, so the first advice that I would have for them is to just watch videos on YouTube. There's a few of us that make videos on iPhone reselling, and they can give you a ton of advice of what to check for before purchasing a phone to resell. So when you check for a phone, this is really important. So there's like a bunch of different things that you want to check, which I kind of went over before. And
Mhm.
then another thing you want to know is how to actually sell those phones quickly and how to market those phones, and also how to post ads.
Okay, nice. Cell phones. Okay, so and you're 16 years old. You have a driver's license, right?
Yeah, so I recently got my license, but before I got my license, I still came to phone meetups. And the way I did that is
Uh,
I actually got friends that had driver's license to drive me to phone meetups. And I would pay them like, $25, even though I was making like $100 on the phone. So I still made 75 profit, but I got someone else to drive me to the phone
dude,
meetups.
that is super impressive. So, how old were you when you first started flipping phones? Then.
I was 15. I got started a year and 1 month ago. So or no, a year and 2 months ago. I got started in May of 2018.
Okay. And how much capital do we need to get into this business?
Yeah. So this is a thing that a lot of people ask me, and it really does depend. How much capital you need is how much you want to buy your first phone for. So if it's like a 6S, you need $70 to get started, or $60. If
Okay.
it's an 8, then you might need like $200 to get started. If it's an X, you might need like $350 to get started. So what you need in terms of capital is the price of your first phone and maybe a course. There's a few courses out there that can teach you everything about iPhone reselling.
Wow. Okay, that's super cool. Now, let's say that I see one of your ads on Facebook, and I'm like, "Hey, Will, I'm looking to sell my phone. How do you have like a list of prices? Like, do you say, okay, well, if this guy has an 8S, I'm going to offer him this, or if he has an 8, I'll offer him this. You know what I mean? How does that work?
Yeah, I do not actually have like a price sheet. There's a few people who do that, but I have a few places I sell my phones. So number one, I sell them on eBay,
Mm-hmm.
sold, and I look at sold listings. I see, that an iPhone 8 Plus cracked back is selling for $240 on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
I see that and I multiply it by 0.86, and that calculates like a 4% PayPal fee and a 10% eBay fee. So I take
Okay.
that out of the equation, and then
Mhm.
I subtract like $4 for shipping, and then I get my break even price. And I like to make like $50 per phone flip. So, I subtract another 50 to see how much I want to pay for the phone. So I look at like eBay sold listings for appraising phones, and then I also look at like what um, a private buyer will pay for it. And by private buyer, I mean people who own cell phone shops and buy phones from other resellers.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. So, what is your main source of where you sell them at? Like, who are you selling to most? You sell most on eBay or to somebody or on Craigslist or what?
Yeah, so I'll sell them on eBay for the most part, and then I'd say 50% of the time I'm selling on eBay, and then
Mhm.
25% of the time I'm selling to a private buyer, and then the other 25% of the time is me just selling in my local market because I don't have to pay any fees at all, and I get my cash immediately.
You like so like you'll buy somebody's phone and then you'll post it in like on Facebook
Yeah,
for. Have
that's
you ever gotten caught
exactly.
doing that?
No, I actually haven't. I've had really good luck. I talked about that in a video not that long ago, and I was
Yeah.
like, um, yeah, I was like, it's really awkward buying a phone from Facebook Marketplace and then listing it back on Facebook Marketplace for more money, but I haven't gotten caught. And honestly, I think it just means that I'm able to market the phone better.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because honestly, people don't know how to take pictures. I've done the same thing with trucks in the past. Like I'll see a truck that's undervalued. I'll buy it. I'll clean it up a little bit, wash it, go through the inside, and then I'll post like immaculate pictures. And then, of course, the price is higher. But yeah, I've done the same stuff with trucks
Yeah.
before. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to. I think we covered phone flipping pretty well. Is there anything else you want to add onto the phone flipping business?
Yeah, no, it's literally my baby business. It's the first business, like real profitable business, I guess, that I started. Like I had some businesses before that, but they weren't really crazy in terms of numbers. But phone flipping is literally the business that I know I can always come back to. If I lose a lot of money doing something else, I can always go back to phone flipping because it's my baseline. It's pretty simple. I know you guys were probably confused by a lot of things that I said, but just know you can go watch some videos on YouTube and learn everything about phone flipping in like 2 or 3 hours.
Do you hold any inventory, or is it like you buy one phone and until you sell it, you don't buy another one?
That's how I started.
Okay.
But now I'm probably holding like 4 or 5 phones at once just because sometimes it takes a little bit longer to sell a phone. But usually I have phones gone in 2 days.
Wow, that's pretty impressive
Yeah.
turnover. Okay, last question on phone flipping. What can you make the most money with? Like what is there like a specific phone that makes more money than other phones, or is it all iPhone? Do you only buy iPhone?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I just hate buying things that aren't iPhones or iPads. Like I just love Apple products, and
Mm,
that's probably because I just don't like Samsung phones at all. I don't like Apple. I don't like anything that's not an Apple product, just because it's like my baseline of knowledge. Like I started with that, and I just feel most comfortable buying Apple products. I expanded from like to other products for a little while, but I just love buying iPhones, iPads, Apple Watches, iPods. I just like that stuff. I don't know why.
the newer phones
But
bring
my
bring more
favorite,
money than older phones though?
newer phones tend to make me more money. Just because like 6S's now only go for like $100, and people usually aren't willing to sell them for less than that. Because like if you say that you're offering $80 for a phone that works completely fine, people kind of get insulted.
Yeah.
So I tend to make most of my money from iPhone X, like not the XS or XS Max or XR. It's
Okay.
mostly the iPhone X. It used to be the 8 Plus. Like I used to pick up like an 8 Plus like 3 times a week, but now it seems to be the iPhone X. I picked those up for like 390 and sell them for 500 now.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty good, man. That is awesome. Okay, let's talk about what's your second most lucrative form of income?
Yeah, so with that, it would probably be YouTube consulting calls, which is, my Clarity.
Mhm.
And that's basically where I teach people how to flip phones or make money in general. And I charge $1 per minute on Clarity.
Mhm.
So I'll do like, 30-minute calls and make $30. And I probably only do like one a week if I'm lucky, but probably only like one every 2 weeks.
And is it usually like older people calling you or younger people, people your age or what?
It's all over the place. Like the last call I did was with a teenager, and then the call before that was like an older gentleman. I
Mm.
seem to connect more with people my age. I don't really, not that I don't like it, but it's kind of weird for me to talk to people who are like 60 years old trying to
Yeah,
flip phones.
yeah,
That is weird. Like I tried to teach a 60-year-old how to run Facebook ads for phone flipping, and that was like the first coaching call that was just super hard for me. Like it was hard for me to just wait for that guy. Like I literally had to get his password and post the ad myself.
What? It was just hard communicating with him or what?
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get it. And I
Hmm.
really did feel bad. Like I gave him my number. Like this is what I do. Like I just give people my number so they can reach out to me later. Since they
Yeah.
invested in themselves, like I'm totally fine talking to them after the call too.
That's super cool. No, that's awesome. That's good business practices right there.
Mhm.
So, we say you make about $2,500 a month from flipping phones. What are you doing with the money? Because obviously you don't have as many expenses. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
if what are your expenses? What are you doing with all the extra money? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the $2,500 is everything, and about 2,000 of that in a good month is from phone flipping. And with the money, I tend to save almost all of it, and my expenses are literally only gas for my car. Like that's all that I have to pay for. I'm pretty lucky because my parents actually do pay for my insurance, which, you know, is really lucky. Not everyone has that.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah.
so that kind of keeps my expenses lower. And what I'm saving for right now is just a real estate investment property. And this
Come
is kind of like a big,
on. Me too. I'm right there with you, buddy. What were you gonna say though?
yeah, so I'm saving probably about $500 a month for that. And then I'm putting $500 a month in like a Roth IRA.
Whoa. What's the
And then,
return on a Roth IRA?
so
Is that
I started buying individual stocks, which is just stupid of me. Like, I should just be investing in broad index funds that average 8% and not think about it.
yeah.
But I just wanted to have some excitement, and I decided to invest in some different companies. And I'm not saying it went bad. Like, I'm making money. It's just, you know, it's up and down when you're investing in individual stocks, and it's not for everyone, like including myself. Like, I don't think individual stocks are for me, just because I don't like to, you know, go in depth reading 10Ks, 10Qs, annual reports, stuff like that. And I just want to invest into like a broad index fund. Like, I bought Facebook stock. I bought into Tesla.
Amazon.
I did not buy Amazon. They're expensive per share.
Yeah.
I bought Apple as well. I bought some Apple stock. Just basically, you know, big blue chip companies. That's what I started with. And I also bought Tesla just because I saw they tanked, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to buy Tesla.
We're going to ride it all the way back up. There's this dude on YouTube, and he posted a video. He invested into 100 different stocks, and I think they were all random stocks. And he invested, like, I want to say $10,000. It's just like a kid. He does YouTube. He can't be like, he's probably like 17, 18 years old. But
I watched that.
did you watch? Yeah, Tyler Oliveira. Yeah, dude, he ended up losing like I don't even remember how much. Do you remember how much he lost?
No, I think it was like I don't even remember.
He lost a lot of money.
Well, because he was just searching random ticker symbols, and most of them were like $1 billion market cap stocks, or like really small market cap stocks. So it was like, it was ridiculous, like how little those companies were, and they never go well. Like I used to, when I was younger, I like thought I would be like, that's actually how I got started with like my first business. I wanted to invest in stocks, but I didn't have any money, so I decided to start flipping phones to save up to buy stocks.
Man, wow. Okay, wait, let's go back to that for a second. So what was your first phone flip? Like, what'd you buy? Where'd you buy it?
I actually have a good story about that. Like, I was so hyped, like, because I watched a video the day before about how to flip phones, and the guy was like, you know, just post an ad on Craigslist and you'll get calls and people will come to you with your phone. So I posted like 20 ads. I was so excited, and I get a call, and the guy was like, I have an iPhone 6S. It's cracked. And then I have an iPhone 5. It works fine. And I was like, yeah, okay, I can meet you. And I was like, since the iPhone 6S is cracked, I can offer you $50 for both, which is like a total lowball. Like, I would have made a killing. Yeah. But I go to meet the guy. My dad drove me, and I was like so excited the whole way. And I look at the phones, and I was like, I had no idea what an IMEI was. I had no idea what an iCloud was. And I knew nothing. So I'm looking at the phones, and they don't even turn on. Okay. And he's like, oh, all you need to do is just charge them. And I was like, oh, okay, that's no problem. And I believed him. That's my worst thing I could have done. I believed the guy. I was like, okay. So I go home. My dad drives me home. I plug the phones in, and I'm just kind of sitting there. I'm just super excited. And the phones aren't turning on. I'm like, dang, they're not turning on. And I just bought broken phones that were iCloud locked. Ended up selling them for like $30 total.
Oh, I mean, yeah. So you lost $20. You got a huge lesson on that first one, right? Well, okay. All in all, you got a good lesson out of it. Did the next one go good after that?
Yeah. So I actually do not know what the next phone flip was. Dang. Like, I was thinking about that as I was talking, but I do not remember what the second phone flip was. But I'm guessing it was probably like another 6S. But that phone flip probably did go pretty well, because I had like a hot streak of like 3 months when I first got started. I had like $1,000 in my bank account after my first 3 months of phone flipping. And I was like, dang, that's really good. Because at that time, I didn't even have a car. Like, I wasn't spending any money. Like, I was saving everything. And yeah, I was building capital like crazy. And then I was lucky enough to meet a few people that could get me phones on consistent basis. And then I was in the money after that.
It's just super cool that it didn't scare you away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so you were on the Dave Ramsey show, correct?
Yeah, I was also on the Dave Ramsey show.
Tell us about that. How did that go? Like your whole thought
Yeah,
process
so
and
I called
everything.
yeah, so I called into the show and he's like, how are you today? And I was like, hey, I have a question. I'm 16. I'm making $1,000 to $2,000 a month flipping phones. How should I be investing my income? And he tells me, are you what are you gonna do in terms of because at that time he asked, what am I gonna do for a car? He was asking, who's gonna buy a car, your parents or you?
Mhm.
And I was like, I'm not sure yet. And he's like, the first priority for your income is you should save for a car. And he recommended that I put aside like $1,000 of my money every single month for 12 months and bought like a $12,000 car. And I think that's pretty expensive for a car at my age,
Mhm.
but that's what he told me to do. And then he said the next priority is college. And yes, who's going to be paying for college? And I was like, and then he's like, yeah, he like just assumed that I was going to be going to college. So I was like, if I decide to do that, I'd probably have my parents pay for it. And he would be like, oh, okay. And he's like, the next priority would be saving for retirement or investing in Roth IRAs. But I don't recommend you do that until you have $50,000 saved up. But I didn't really end up listening to that advice.
Man, that's
He's
super
a
cool,
really
bro.
wise guy, but I feel like he talks to the masses. Like he thinks that like all debt is bad, like even real estate debt. He thinks
Yeah.
that's bad. He thinks you can just like buy homes in cash and ridiculous stuff like that. So I was like, he's a cool guy. I really do like how he kind of teaches a lot of people about money, but you kind of have to analyze what he tells you because I think a $12,000 car is really expensive.
Yeah.
College, he always thinks that everyone should go to college. And then also in terms of like a Roth IRA, having 50K, first of all, you can only contribute $6,000 a year. So I don't know how that would work.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, what I would have told you is try to flip, you know what I mean? Buy like something that was like you know, kind of like a junker and then just try to fix it up a little bit and flip it. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's
Yeah,
always
that's what people were telling me in my comment section. I was like, that's definitely what I kind of want to get into flipping cars. My brother, he
mhm.
used to do that, but I do not. I'm not mechanical at all. Like I know nothing about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's the only problem. You got to find a good mechanic, and that's hard to do. So you said, oh, you know what? Do you watch Graham Stephan on YouTube?
Yes, I do.
I feel like he's the new Dave Ramsey. I love that guy. I think he's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's so much funnier. He's not like he doesn't get well, he does get triggered in his videos, but
Yeah,
like
when he does
Dave
those
Ramsey, like
review video, I mean
he is
reaction videos.
yeah. Dave Ramsey, he's a cool guy. I really do respect him, but
Mhm.
you know, he definitely does talk to the masses, and his advice is not for everyone.
Yeah, I'd say he's for the older generation. Yeah, because I don't know, man. He just when he talks about debt, there's other schools of thought. So you said you were saving up for real estate. How much are you thinking you're gonna need? And what would be the move there? Would you go in by yourself? What would you do with that?
Yeah, so in terms of real estate, I don't have a lot saved because this is a newer goal of mine, but I'm
Hmm.
hoping to have at least $10,000 by the time I'm 18, which hopefully will not be an issue. I'm expecting my income to double or get close to doubling the next year or so, just because I have some ideas in terms of like my YouTube and my brand that could potentially double my income if it goes well. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm hoping to have $10,000 saved by the time I'm 18, and then by the time I'm like done building credit, I get a credit card. I'm hoping to have around $20,000 for a 20% down payment. Where I live, property is relatively cheap. Like you can get a house for $100,000. I live in Wisconsin, so property is really not that expensive.
Hmm.
A really decent house would probably be like 200 to 300,000, but you can get homes for 100,000. And in terms of like a mentor on teaching me about real estate, I do know a real estate agent. He has a bunch of property, and I'd probably talk to him before actually looking into it more.
Dude, that is super cool. If more kids, I say kids, if more teenagers were thinking that way, I mean, dude, you're gonna be so set by the time. Do you want to go to college?
Yeah, I'm definitely still considering it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, as an entrepreneur, I mean, you're kind of setting the tone right now. I mean, You're doing a great
But
job.
I'm
Okay.
also thinking about college just because it gives me more time to actually build a business.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like it gives you like another 4 years. So it's like
And like you said, if your parents
kind
are
of
paying for it, I mean, why not? If you don't have to go in debt for it, I think it's a good idea.
Mhm.
Now, did you make any investments or anything with any of this money that went wrong? Did you invest in any other businesses? Can you talk to that a little bit?
Oh gosh, no. Yeah, I've done so many stupid things. Like I had a period. So you think I'm all smart with money, but sometimes, yeah, things go wrong. So
Okay.
let's talk about a few things. So after I made like $2,000 or $3,000 with phone flipping, I was like, it's time to expand. Like it's time to move into other ventures.
Okay.
And the first business I started after that was a social media marketing agency. And with the first marketing agency, I wasted like 4 months before getting a single client, and then I got 2 clients.
Oh wait, what do you mean
And
wasted 4 months though? Like, were you emailing or were like what?
yeah, I was just messaging people, and at that time, like I wasn't flipping phones that much,
Mm,
so like I just like didn't really pick up any phones. Like I just bought like maybe a phone a week at that point. I was making like $200 a month phone flipping. That's it at that time, and that's it because I was just like all in on this agency idea. And actually, I didn't lose money with this agency. I just lost a lot of time, which I'm young, so it doesn't really matter. But I
mm.
spent 4 months without getting a client, and then that fifth month, I did get 2 clients, and I closed them for $497 a month with this first agency. And unfortunately, I did not know exactly how to run Facebook ads, so I
Uh,
didn't really present results, and I felt really bad.
okay,
I
wait,
lost
wait,
a
wait, 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 wait. So you got clients on the premise that you were gonna run marketing campaigns, Facebook marketing campaigns for them, and they were paying. You had like on a retainer for like $500 a month, and you had never ran any Facebook ads before.
Nope, this was before I ran any Facebook ads for my phone business.
Dude, how did you
I,
talk them into letting you run their Facebook ads?
dude, I do not know. I do not know. Like I had no, they asked me, do you have any past clients that we could talk to? And I was like, my excuse was no, I do not. We're a new company. We're getting started, but we've run ads for like, I kind of lied. Like I've done some really bad things. Like
William, come on.
you learn, like, I guess now I've kind of learned that doing good business is always a better idea, just
Mhm.
because when you have happy customers bringing you money consistently, it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, that's pretty crazy. And then so did you ever talk to them like over the phone or via Skype call? Like how would that work? Because obviously, I mean, let's be honest, these people have a lot of money, a lot of time invested into these businesses. And for a 16-year-old who doesn't have any credentials, who doesn't have any proof that he's ever ran any ads, and they're just gonna be throwing money at you. I mean, that's got to be pretty crazy. So what did you have to say to get your foot in the door and ultimately get them as clients?
Yeah, so basically I sent them a message and I was like, would you be interested in me bringing you clients for your business? And they were like, what do you have in mind? And I was like, hey, I could hop on a strategy call with you and just talk about what we do. And then they were like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we could do that. And then I kind of, I talked to them about you know, what our company's about in terms of Facebook advertising. I brought up like pay per click or pay per call, and that's basically where you can run a Facebook ad where like someone calls them and like it's charged every time they call or every time they click on something. And I
Mm-hmm.
kind of brought those things up. And they seemed pretty interested, and they were like, "Yeah, this is definitely something that we should try out. We could do it for a month. If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't." And it ended up not working on both clients. Like I tried so hard. I honestly bought a course with the money on how to do ads, and I just
It
couldn't do it
still
in
didn't
time. Like
work.
yeah, I really did try. Like I truly did my best. And the reason I told them that I'd run ads in before is because I got this like free course on social media marketing, and they
Yeah.
were like, you can just figure marketing out after you get a client. And I was like, oh, that's fine. And you're like, it's fine to just tell them that you run ads in the past because marketing's easy. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't end up learning it too fast.
At what point did they realize that you weren't really bringing them any business? Like how long did this last for?
Yeah, like 3 weeks, honestly. Like they were just after the end of the month, they're like, yeah, you haven't even brought in any sales. Like you didn't even bring in a single sale.
Okay.
Like,
So they gave you a month.
Yeah, basically they gave me a month, and then they saw nope. And they weren't super angry with me, but it was a weird point in my, like, I guess, business career. And then after that, I spent like a month still going back to phone flipping and just making YouTube videos like I do now.
Yeah.
And it went really well. I made like $1,000 my first month back, and I was like, cool. And then with this new money, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna invest in a Shopify store. And I was like, I'm gonna do Shopify drop shipping.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh yeah, tell me about that, because we talked about this before. You said you had you said you had a software setup, right?
Oh, this is with my eBay dropshipping.
Oh, okay. Well, tell us about Shopify first before we go into eBay.
Okay, so I started this Shopify store, Entrepreneurs in Merch. This is the dumbest idea. I literally, the idea is putting businesses on shirts, and you probably have no idea what that means, but it's these shirts, like white and black shirts that have YouTuber on it. And then I have another shirt that it has a Shopify symbol on it, and it says dropshipper. And I was like, dude, I'm going to make a killing with this. Like, because I was doing like shirts and I was selling them on a Shopify store. I probably invested like $100 into advertising on Instagram. And I was going to these like business themed pages, and I was like, hey, how much for a shout out? How much for a link in bio? How much for a story post? And I was buying these like, story posts, shout outs. And I was paying like $50 for one page, and then I was paying like $50 for another page. So I only promoted on 2 pages and then 1 YouTube channel. So I take that back. For 1 YouTube channel, all I had to do was I had to send them a free shirt and they would promote it. And then for the other 2, I paid them $50 to promote what I had.
Did it convert to any sales?
Nope.
Dude, this is so cool. The fact that you've tried, like even you've tried 3 businesses, right? You're 16 years old. I mean, obviously it's not the end of the road for the marketing agency. And are you still running the marketing agency, by the way?
Yeah, so I actually had 2 more marketing agencies after that one. So the second one I was running with a different partner because the partner from the first agency said he wanted to focus on his wholesaling business. And I was like, hey, that's fine. I'm going to find a different partner. And then in the second agency, I ended up finding a partner who knew a crap ton about social media marketing. Like he knew all the stuff. He bought this like $5,000 mentorship program. And we kind of built a marketing business together. We ended up not getting any clients, but I learned so much stuff. And the reason we didn't get any clients is because, he didn't really want to do it with me anymore. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't as advanced as him, even though I was really working hard on that. And then the third agency I have now is with a different partner, and we have 1 client. And I'm thinking about probably taking a step back from that just because I want to focus on YouTube and phone flipping. And the marketing agency is still bringing in decent money, probably like $500.
How much time does it really take though? Does it take like a ton of time and like effort to run it?
It takes a lot of time to get on calls and be on meetings with clients. But it doesn't take a lot of time once you have a client booked, right? Because we're outsourcing the marketing on a different website.
Yeah. So they run the ads for you, basically?
Yeah. So for
William,
the contract,
you genius. That's all I have to say. You get the marketing and then you outsource it to someone else. But like, why couldn't you scale this though, and still run the YouTube and everything?
I could 100%, but it's the time commitment. See, I could probably make more from marketing if I put all of my attention towards social media marketing and I didn't do YouTube and I didn't do phone flipping. I'd probably be, making a really good amount of income. But I'm honestly, I really, really like making YouTube videos and I really like flipping phones. Marketing is just something that I did to practice my sales skills, because like with phone flipping, the only negotiating you do is for like a phone, like getting it for a lower price. and that really doesn't take much. But with the marketing agency, you have to convince people to give you like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
Yeah, obviously. What do your parents think about all this?
Yeah, they think it's pretty cool. They think it's just like a hobby, something I do on the side, and I guess it's kind of like that, right? They just think, it's something cool I'm doing, after school and during the summer. Some people have, basketball. Some people have like, band. I have, my businesses.
Rock on, for sure. Okay, take us back to the drop shipping. Let's talk about that when you tried drop shipping.
Okay. So with the Shopify drop shipping, I had a little series on the Financial channel about that. I ended up making no money, and I was like, you know what? I'm switching to eBay drop shipping. And I found this first channel, Success with Sully, and he was like, never use software if you're going to be eBay drop shipping. Like, you got to do manual. And I was like, okay. And so I list some products from Walmart onto my eBay drop shipping store.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just listing them on there. And I have like 50 products on there. And I'm starting to get like a sale a week. And I was doing it for like 2 weeks manual drop shipping. And by the end of it, I had maybe 100 products. And I was like, wait, this is way too slow. I'm going to get some software that will automatically list products, will automatically fulfill orders, and then I'll have passive income coming in. Well, within like 2 or 3 weeks, or no, that's a lie. Within like a week, I had like thousands of listings on my eBay page. And I was getting sales like crazy. A lot of those products, like I didn't even know were on there. It was just automatically being listed by the software.
Dude, that is incredible.
And eventually, I ran out of capital because I was getting so many orders, and I wasn't able to fulfill so many orders, and I was canceling them that eBay banned me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, like let's just say hypothetically though, let's say you had $1 million in the bank and like you had enough capital to cover all the orders. Like, could you have made a ton of money?
Yeah, I could have, and I would have made. I stress that every day. Like if I went back to it now, I 100% could make money eBay drop shipping. But hey, it's definitely something I might consider in the future. But I'm happy that I'm learning all these things now because I feel like I could almost never be broke because like I know all this stuff now that in any situation I know a business I could start.
Wow, okay, that is incredible. Let's get into your series on YouTube, Risky Business. Tell me about that. Tell me about some of the crazy video ideas you've done because I looked through them and it was pretty crazy. Like, tell us about. All right, so basically, break it down. What's the series about?
Yeah, so Risky Business is a mixture of two things. So that's the thing. The first part is that I want to kind of motivate people to get out there, right? I don't want people to, be scared to sell something in public or anything like that. So I decided, you know what, if you are scared to start a vending machine business and start asking people, if I can put a machine in their store, then you know what, I'm going to go and stand in front of the Eco ATM in Walmart with a sign saying that I pay more than the Eco ATM for phones. So just what I mean by that is if you're nervous to do something in business, like don't be, because I'm doing things like really, really crazy that could actually get me in trouble. So for like the first episode,
I love the premise of that, by the way. The premise of that is, I said, I love the premise of that, by the way. It's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. And then the second part of that is I honestly thought they would get a lot of views because, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel.
They will. You just got to be patient. They will.
For sure. Yeah, I'm actually going to start doing that again because it was just so much fun. Like, it's so fun to do those videos. And so the first episode of Risky Business was standing in front of the Eco ATM with a sign saying that I pay more than the Eco ATM for phones.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't really go too well. It was more just like promoting my service than
do
actually
people even really go to the Eco? I feel like not that many people go to the Eco ATM. Like, I love the premise of it, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it was not a really good idea. Like, it was better in my head than the video actually went.
I've had a lot of those, tons.
Yeah. And then the second video was me going to the movie theater and then selling candy in front of the movie theater. Because I was like, movie theaters charge so much money for candy. I'm going to sell it for way less and make money. And I thought this would actually go well. And it went decent. I ended up not making my money back just because I got caught by the movie theater staff and kicked out. And I think I got three sales, maybe like I think might have made like $6 or $7,
Yeah,
even though
I
I spent
watched
more.
it. So they kicked you out at the end of it?
Yeah, and that made for a better video. Like that video is probably the one that I'm most proud of on my channel.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
tell us about the McDonald's one where you sold McDonald's at Burger King. Is that right?
yeah, I sold McDonald's at Burger King, and that video was the reason I took like a little bit of a break from risky business. Like I haven't done a video on risky business in 3 weeks,
Yeah.
even though I've been uploading their content. But that's just because it was all day. Like all day I was just at Burger King trying to sell McDonald's, and that video was also something that was better in my head than actually worked out. So I was out there all day trying to promote my McDonald's selling to people at Burger King, and people were kind of, iffy because, it's like they could get fresh food or they could get my food from McDonald's, right?
That you had already bought, yeah. Do you watch Ryan Trahan on YouTube?
No, I do not. Is that the guy? Is that the guy who like negotiates at drive-throughs?
No, but he just did a penny challenge where he lived on a penny for 3 days. And he's also done I don't know. He's done a lot of those. He did a video where he highballed people on Facebook and lowballed people.
Oh, I've seen those in my recommended. I never watched them though.
Yeah, no, he's a cool guy. You should try that out, dude. Try to survive on a penny and just like see how, like, if you made it a series where you started with a penny and just see how much money you can get, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like
that's a good.
Yeah, like he bought a pen for a penny, and then he sold the pen for $1, and then he like bought a pack of gum, and like he sold the gum for like $5. You know what I mean? And then he just built his way up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing like a crazy video every single Monday, like videos that take me a long time, and then like Wednesdays and Fridays I'm gonna be just making like my regular phone flipping or interview type of content.
Absolutely, man. Well, dude, I'm super impressed. What is your long-term goals like on YouTube and with everything else? I mean, we kind of talked about it. You want to get into real estate ultimately. But what's the long-term goals other than that?
Yeah, so it's kind of hard for me to say that because I know phone flipping isn't really a long-term business in my opinion. Like,
is it sustainable?
Yeah, it's easy to make money, but it's hard to scale. Like you can't really make more than what I'm making now unless you're like doing like a ton of phones a day. And I'm not sure if I want to scale past that. Like I'm really happy with where I'm at now. It's just that I want to build a business that will long term make me money. And I'm looking into some things like that I can do when I'm older. And the reason I want to do YouTube is, if I can scale that and just start teaching people about making money, I can actually turn that into a real business. And, that's something I also really enjoy and I think would be a lot of fun. So, if I can get to like, which I really do think I can by next year, I should be at like 5,000 or 6,000 subscribers. And then, by the time I'm done with high school, maybe I'll be at like 20K. And that will probably be bringing me in another, if I come out with some sort of like course on iPhone reselling, I can, maybe make another $2,000 a month from that. And then I'll be at $4,000 a month from my iPhone business and from my YouTube. And then that can kind of fund me, either getting into real estate or me, starting a different business that I think can really kind of scale me to a bigger amount of money.
Yeah, it's funny. You can make more money teaching people how to make money than you can like actually making the money.
Oh yeah, 100%. But if you think about it, you influence 1,000 people and you have them pay $80 for a course and they can make that $80 back on one phone flip. I think it's worth it for that person, but you're just reaching more people.
Absolutely. And then your one-on-one calls become way much more, profitable, and because your time is more valuable at that point. Well, William, look, I'm super impressed with you, bro. I appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with me. Do you have any final words that you want to, offer up to the people out there?
Yeah, guys. So if you want to start a business, you honestly just need to start. Like, I hear people come to me and they say they want to start a business and they have like one of two excuses. So number one, they're like, I don't know what business to start. And I'm always like, how do you not know what business to start? Like, I feel like almost every person I talk to that already has a business struggles with having too many ideas, not too few ideas. Like, literally every single day I come up with like a business idea. Like today, for some reason, I was like learning about moving companies. Like I did an interview with someone and he mentioned that he had a moving company, and I was like, dang, I want to do that. And I like looked into it, and like I saw like how much, I could rent like a moving truck for, and it was like, there's so many ideas out there. There's no excuse to like not have an idea for a business. And number two, I don't have any money to start a business. And like, there's no excuse on that either. Like you can start businesses for free. You can start mowing lawns. You can start a marketing agency. You can, start a dog walking business. There's so many ideas, like, especially in this day and age, like no excuse to not start a business if you guys are interested.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, with that being said, you guys make sure you check out William. I will leave a link for his channel in the description. We'll go ahead and close it out here. My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. And until next time, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.